I'm Joseph Straathof, and this is my 351 Lab 1 on multiplexers. So for the pre-lab question 1, for the multiplexer truth table, we can see that when S, the selector, is low, it only follows signal A, because signal, the little b, the intermediate b, is always set to 0, because you cannot have B and S be true if S is false. And when the selector is set to high, we see that little a is always 0, because not S is 0, and A and not S is always 0. And the output follows B and little b. For the NOT gate, you can see that with an input of low, we get a high, and with a high, we get a low. An AND gate only outputs high if both signals input are high. The OR gate will output high if any of the input signals are high, and we can see that here. So for the multiplexer, when the selector is set to 0, we follow A, and you can see that only the output always follows A when the selector is set to 0. The output is high only when A is high. And with the selector set to 1, we see that the output is high only when B is high, so the output follows B. So in Tinkercad, we can look at this multiplexer, and if we have selected high, which means we've selected B, and B is high, so if we start the simulation, the LED will come on. And if we switch A around, LED still comes on because we haven't touched B. And now if we put A back to high, and we move B to low, then the LED will not come on. And if we switch the selector, we're now selecting A, and the LED should come right on. And we see that happen. So for a 4-to-1 multiplexer, we have our two selectors. The first selector functions as a selector for the first two muxes, and the second selector for the final mux. And here we can see that our A, B, and D are all high, and C is low. So we have selected high on our S0. So we have selected B and D to continue to the third mux. And we've selected the second input on the second mux, so we've selected D to go through, and we can see 5 volts on the output. Now to demonstrate my Arduino multiplexer, we can see that right now I have B set to low, A set to high, and the selector on low. So we're getting an output of high. If I move the selector to select B, we have an output of low. I can move B, we get high, and if I move A, we have no effect. So if I now select my Arduino code with the blinking, so if I choose low, we get a rapid blink, so that's the yellow. And if I choose high, we get a slow blink, that's output B.